Are you able to see what is on the screen?
Yes, Brother Buckler.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Now this is a review of lesson 5, but it's not right now in preparation for the final exam, although it will be in the final exam. It's in preparation for next week's test. So I will adjust this before I send this to you. Okay, so the general objectives for this review lesson is to define usage. That is to give the meaning of the word usage. Number 2, to examine the different views on what governs usage. That is the different points of view concerning what usage is. Number 3, to examine examples of usage. The specific objectives are, at the end of this review of lesson 5, students will have defined the word usage in spoken or written language. 2, at the end of this review of lesson 5, students will have given 2 different views on usage in spoken or written language. Number 3, at the end of this review of lesson 5, students will have given 7 examples of usage in spoken or written language. Here is a definition of usage, which I think has everything that we need to know about its meaning. This is taken from the website thoughtco.com, and it's dealing with grammar. Usage refers to regular ways in which words or phrases are used, spoken, or written in a speech community. Now, a speech community does not have to involve the whole country. It could involve a smaller group of people, like people in a particular province or people in a particular parish. Let me give you an example from Jamaica. In Jamaica, most of the people speak Jamaican Creole. Just like in Haiti, a lot of the people speak French Creole. So a lot of us do not speak standard English, and a lot of those in Haiti do not speak standard French, even though they can communicate in standard French, and we can communicate in standard English. But even among those that speak Jamaican Creole, I have noticed that there are differences among different parishes. For example, what we call in standard English thorns or prickles. In some parishes, it is called by the Jamaican Creole word maca. But in a particular parish, the parish of Clarendon, I have noticed that they don't say maca at all, but they say kasha. Kasha. So usage refers to the particular way in which words are used in a particular speech community, not necessarily in the whole of the country, but in a community of people that have the same way of speaking and writing. So usage refers to regular ways in which words or phrases are used, spoken, or written in a speech community. Now, there are 2 different views on usage. The first view is what is called the descriptive tradition. In the descriptive tradition of language analysis, correct usage tends to mean functionally adequate for the purposes of the speaker or writer using it. That means that they see that it serves the purpose in communicating one's ideas to another. It is believed that since the English language is not dead, but it is living, it will continue to develop and it will not be fixed. For example, shop, S-H-O-P-P-E, is now shop, S-H-O-P. God be with ye is now goodbye. Even in the present time, American English is different from British English. For example, C-O-L-O-R, color, is American English, but color, C-O-L-O-U-R, is British English. So when a person is describing usage in a speech community, they're not telling those people who are using words in a particular way different from others that the way they're using their words is inaccurate. They're only describing how certain words and phrases are used in that particular group of people. Then you have the second view on usage, and that is the prescriptive tradition. And as the word suggests, prescriptive means that you give directions as to what to do, just like when you go to a medical doctor and he or she examines you and then prescribes some medication for you to take in order to get better. That prescription is taken by the pharmacist and they follow what is on that paper. You cannot tell the pharmacist that you want a different medication unless it is a generic form of what is there on the paper. In that sense, you can tell the pharmacist what you wish. Generic medication is less expensive than the specific ones. However, other than that, when it is a prescription, the pharmacist follows what the doctor has prescribed for you. And so it is with language. Experts in the language tell us how we ought to speak the language. What is the right way of speaking the language? And what is the wrong way of speaking the language? So in the prescriptive tradition of language analysis, correct usage is a matter of language experts judging what is the correct style of using the language and telling others how they should use it. This is what is taught in English language classes in the education system of various countries. And I suppose it would apply to other languages, such as teaching Spanish, or teaching French, or teaching Dutch, that there is a standard way of speaking and writing that language. So you have those who describe how the language is used, and you have others who prescribe what the language should be used, how the language should be used, what words and phrases should be used, and what words or phrases should not be used. In communication studies, we are really following the prescriptive tradition of language use. And that is why we have examples of usage of language. We wouldn't have incorrect usage on the left hand and correct usage on the right hand if we were simply describing how language is used by a particular speech community. All we would do is say that the speech community in Clarendon uses the word kasha for thorns and prickles. And the speech community in Kingston and St. Andrew use the word maca for thorns and prickles, but we would not say that those in Clarendon are incorrect, while those who are in Kingston and St. Andrew are correct, if we're just describing how people use words and phrases among a particular group of people. So we're looking at the prescriptive tradition of language usage. Brother Solin, are you still there?
Yes, Brother Buckland.
Yeah, what language though? What happened a while ago? I heard that the recording stopped.
I didn't realize that, sir. Maybe I touched the button, sir.
Okay, I think it was the Zoom recording. Okay, good. So we're looking at the examples here of usage of language according to the prescriptive tradition, telling what is incorrect usage over on the left side and what is correct usage over on the right side. Number one, do you get to the church building with the bus? We normally do not say with the bus. We normally say by bus. So the correct usage is, do you get to the church building by bus? Number two, do you have anything against headaches? We normally don't say it like that. We normally say, do you have anything for headaches? Number three, why are you so rude with me? We normally don't speak like that. We say, why are you so rude to me? Number four, we had a great holiday in Japan. People were friendly where we went. Well, you have some who say it like this, but according to the prescriptive tradition of correct usage, it is rather worded like this. We had a great holiday in Japan. People were friendly, not just where we went, but wherever we went. Wherever is actually more accurate in that it shows that we were not only at one part of Japan, but we visited different parts of Japan. And wherever we went, people were friendly. The coronavirus caught us in Japan. We normally don't say it like that. We normally say that we are the one who caught the coronavirus in Japan, whatever the disease is, whether it is the common cold or whether it is fever. We do not say that the disease caught us, even though that might be true. But we say we caught the disease. That's how we normally express it. We caught the coronavirus in Japan. Number six, your old computer isn't worth to be repaired. We normally don't say it like that, but we say your old computer isn't worth repairing. The implication is it would be to your advantage to buy a new computer. To spend so much money on repairing this old computer isn't worth it. Number seven, if I was you, I would repent. When we are using contrary to fact condition, you see, we're not that person. When we use if I in a contrary to fact condition, as we say in English grammar, we don't use the word was, because was is used in contexts in which we are affirming a fact, or we are stating what is real or actual. But as it is in this particular grammatical construction, this is not reality. This is what you are thinking you would do if you were in that person's position, if you were that person. So rather than say was, we use the word were. If I were you, I would repent. Because you're not referring to an actual thing taking place, you're referring to something that you are imagining or you are considering could be the case if you were that person. Well, that is the idea behind that. And even
Yes,
though were is part of the grammatical conjugation of the verb to be in the past tense, in normal usage, we use the word were to refer to contrary to fact conditions rather than the word was. Yes, go ahead, Brother Solon.
Yes, sir. I was agreeing with what you said earlier. But if I were to add anything, I would say that this example is, like someone else trying to put himself in another person's shoe.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're moving. Okay, I think that is it. All right, so what I would advise you to do in preparation for the test is to use this review and prepare. Okay,
All
use
right,
this
Brother
review
Buckler.
and prepare for the test next week. Now, after the test next week, we're going to, in the remaining weeks before the final exam, be reviewing lessons 1 to 5 in preparation for the final exam. So this is actually the final lesson for this trimester, and we will continue on to lesson 6 at a later time, that is in the second trimester.
Yes, Brother Buckler.
Yes. Okay, do you have any further comments or questions?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, so we're going to be ending at this point, and I will see you later in chapel, God willing.
All right, sir.
All right, good.